Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Creatnprocess. Today we'll be working on classic vintage vector design. We'll create this hollow fish using Illustrator and Photoshop. To design this, we'll first create the fish structure using the pen tool. Then we'll create the texture of the skin by using the ellipse tool. After this, to give a classic and vintage look to the design, we'll use gradient and the texture option. Lastly, draw the fins and add a nice details to it. So let's begin the tutorial. Open a new Illustrator document. The first thing we're going to do is to draw the shape of the fish using the pen tool. So select the pen tool using the keyboard shortcut P and start drawing out the shape. To break the path, click on the anchors to get a spiky look. Use the handles to maintain the curve and adjust the points using the direct selection tool. Next, select the ellipse tool and draw the oval. Place it at the mouth area of the fish and rotate the angle according to the direction of the body flow. Adjust the size and make sure that the two end corners are properly snapped to the curve path. Now create one more duplicate of the circle using the keyboard shortcut Command or Ctrl C to copy and Command or Ctrl F to paste in front. And scale down the size. Let's select all the strokes and change its stroke thickness to 0.5 points. This will help in doing the adjustments more accurately. We're using this second circle to give thickness. Next, we'll apply a solid color to the shape. So go to the color swatches and choose any color. Then double click on the fill color to open the color picker panel. Here, type out the same color code which I have used to get a light brown color. Now select the larger oval and give it a fill color. Use the color code #93805F. to get a faded dark brown color. For the second oval, we'll apply the gradient color. So on the gradient panel, double click on the left slider and change the color mode to RGB. Then apply the color code to give a light brown color. For the right slider, apply the color code to give a darker tone. This will be used to add shadows to the design. Adjust the sliders and change the angle to -16 degrees. Next, we're going to be creating the texture of the skin. So select the ellipse tool and draw out a small circle. Apply the color code #DDD1BD and click OK. Create one more duplicate of the circle and scale down the size. For this, apply the color code #231F20 to give black color. Now again duplicate one last circle, scale down its size and apply the color code #9B8579. Next, select all the three circles and group it up. Then with the Alt pressed, click and drag it to create a duplicate. To create multiple number of duplicates, use the keyboard shortcut Command or Ctrl D. Now select all the shapes and with the Alt pressed, click and drag it down and place it in the intersection area. Continue following the same steps to create out these unique designs. Next, to apply the texture to the body, group up all these circles. Then create a duplicate of the body shape. Now place it over it, scale up the size and rotate the angle according to your direction. Next, select the body shape and arrange it to front. This way, we'll apply a clipping mask. Select both the shapes and apply clipping mask. You can do the adjustments by double clicking inside and changing the position and the size. To give a plain color at the edges, let's select these series of circles and apply a fill color. Use the color code #EADEC7. Also, remove the stroke color by clicking on this icon. Now place it over our design. Next, create one more duplicate of the body shape. Arrange it to front and apply a gradient color. Change the angle of rotation to -46. Give the color code #F5D4AD on the right slider and #FFEAD4 on the left slider. Now change the left slider opacity to 0% and adjust the color slider properly to get a nice fade on the lower region. Next, create one more duplicate of the body shape to create the head of the fish. Use the pen tool to draw the division for the head. Use direct selection tool to adjust the path of the curve, then using the shape builder tool, extract out the back portion. Delete out all the extra curves, arrange it to front and place it over our design. Now let's apply the gradient color. For the left slider, use the color code F5D0A3 to give a light brown color, and for the right slider, apply the black color using the color code #231F20. Do proper adjustments with the slider and change the angle of rotation to 121 degree. This will give you a darker tone on the upper region. Next, we'll create one more duplicate of this shape on top. For this, apply grayscale gradient color and change the layer mode to multiply. We'll use this layer to give vintage look to the design. So go to Effect, Texture, Grain. This will open the texture panel. Here, choose the spatter texture, set the spray radius to around 25 and the smoothness to 2 and click OK. This will add a nice rough feel to the texture. Now select these two circles and bring it to front. Next, we're gonna add details to the design. So using the pen tool, draw out a stroke following the curve path of the head. Then under stroke panel, change the profile to this to give a pointed ends. Next, create a duplicate of this curve. Then using the direct selection tool, select the anchor point and adjust the handles. Change the stroke color to white and arrange the black stroke to front. We'll create one more duplicate of these curves and do some slight adjustments to give a different look. Now we'll create the eye using the ellipse tool. Draw out a circle and apply #D2C4BB color code. Create one more duplicate for the iris. Give the color code #090COC. And the last circle for the pupil, give the color code #8C6E4D. Now place the eye to its proper place. Next, reduce the height and rotate the angle to give a little tilt. Then increase the size of the eye in proportion to the head. Next, draw out a wavy curve for the hair. Apply a stroke color with a stroke thickness 6 point. We'll change the stroke profile to this and change the stroke cap to round ends. Then expand the strokes to convert into fill object. Apply light brown for the fill color and dark brown for the stroke. Also bring the texture layer and the eye to the front. Now place the head to its original position. Next, let's give a vintage look to the gradient. So select the shape and apply grain texture. Set the contrast to 78 and the intensity to 48. Now we'll add a fins to the fish. So using the pen tool, create out each of the fins individually. Use direct selection tool to tweak each of the shapes. Next, select these shapes and apply gradient color. Use the same gradient color applied in the mouth hole. Now create a duplicate on top and apply grayscale color. Then under transparency, change the layer mode to multiply. This will blend the gradient with the background color. Then under gradient panel, change the angle of rotation to 105 degree and set the darker color to the intersection area. Next, go to Effect, Texture and apply Spatter Texture with a spray radius to 9 and the smoothness to 1. This will add a soft noise on the surface. Now send all the fins to the back using the Arrange to Back options. After this, tweak each of the vertices to give a nice organic finishing. Then apply a light brown solid color using the color picker option. Next, we'll add a spiky details to the fins and the tail. To create that, select the line segment tool and click and drag to create a line. Then go to stroke panel to change the profile to this and increase the stroke thickness to 3 points. Now with the Alt pressed, click and drag it to create a multiple number of duplicates. Give certain gaps between each of the lines, then select all and arrange it to back of the body. In the same way, add spike to all the other fins. Draw it out using the line segment tool, adjust the curves handles using the anchor point tool and change the stroke profile to 3-cornered stroke. Lastly, let's do the final adjustments with the stroke color. And now we'll create the classic vintage cover. So open a new Photoshop document and drag in the fish inside the Photoshop. Then again go to Illustrator and select only the body structure shape and drag it inside the Photoshop. We'll use this to add shadow and the depth. Place it on top and scale up the size to gather. Now select the shape layer and reduce the fill value to 8%. Then double click to open the layer style panel and activate bevel and emboss. Here set the depth to 69%, size to around 81 pixel, softness to around 16 pixel, change the highlight mode color to faded yellow and the layer to normal. Then click OK. This will add a nice depth and shadow to the fish. Next, let's mask out the shade on the mouth area. So select the fish layer and make a selection using the quick selection tool. Then select the shade layer and apply mask. To invert the mask selection, use the keyboard shortcut Command or Control I. Now, we'll create a background. So, first unlock the background layer and using the eye picker, pick a color from the fish and apply it to the background. We'll also use the old paper texture. So, drag into Photoshop and scale up the size to fill the background. And activate the color overlay under layer style panel. Set the layer mode to multiply and change the color to red. We'll use the color code #E96262 and click OK. Next, we'll add a noise to the shade layer. So select the layer and go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise. Set the amount to 65, choose Gaussian and click OK. This will add a nice rough texture. Next, we'll draw the threads using the brush tool. So add a new layer and with a small brush stroke, start drawing out the threads. If you click on one point, then with a shift press, click on the other point, it will create a straight line. Let's select this part of the thread using the selection tool and change its color to darker tone using the hue and saturation adjustment layer. Lastly, we'll type our text, apply Mink Imperial Love font, which will add a Japanese style to the text. Then add a layer style panel, apply stroke and reduce its size to around 4 pixels. After that, do the final placement and the color adjustments. Then add a thin brown color border on the new layer. Change the layer mode to color and add a nice drop shadow. Finally, we have completed designing a classic vintage fish vector design. During the process, we have used various new techniques and learned how to add texture to any organic body. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Don't forget to check out the next tutorial coming up. And if you want more updates on designing, don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you.